And House Speaker Nancy Pelosi joins me now from the Capitol. Well, Madam Speaker, there's a lot on our plate today, but first and foremost, this tax story. Good morning to you. What is the political ramification? Because, to be frank, we've seen on, the days and months and weeks before the 2016 election, we saw Access Hollywood. We've since learned about payments to porn stars, all kinds of avoidance, the Mueller report, impeachment. Nothing seems to stick. So is this just another scandal of the day that his base will say, so what?
Well, I don't want to speak to the politics of it because that'll be up to his supporters and how loyal they want to be to them. To him, I think many of them just don't want to admit they made a mistake. And for some of them, that's where they are. They have disrespect for people that you know that story. But let's just talk about what Stephanie talked about, the transparency. I'm an intelligence person, as you know, and I do know that if there is a review of somebody, if they're going to be federally appointed to a job or whatever, if they have outstanding debt, that is an important factor because that means somebody else has leverage over them. This president appears to have over $400 million in debt, 420, whatever it is, $million in debt. To whom? Different countries? What is the leverage they have? So for me, this is a national security question. And in addition to which, it's so strange that in 2017, the president paid $750 in federal taxes, and he paid over $300,000 in taxes to other countries that we know of. It may be more. So again, let's come back to we take an oath to protect and defend. This president is the commander-in-chief. He has exposure to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, to whom the public has a right to know.
And as you pointed out, you spent years on the Intelligence Committee and now, of course, get the briefings as Speaker. So you know this subject very, very well. Among the countries that he's paying to are the Philippines, where he's been praising the dictator Duterte, Turkey, Erdogan. I mean, these are not our closest allies, but they are people that he improbably has been embracing.
Well, and of course, there's always Russia. The question is, what does Putin have on the president politically, personally, financially, in every way that the president would try to undermine our commitment to NATO, give away the store to Russia and Syria, try to cast blame on Ukraine for interfering in our elections when he knows full well with the consensus from the intelligence community that it is Russia. The list goes on and on. The annexation in the Crimea and the rest of that the president just turns away from. So he says he likes Putin and Putin likes him. Well, what's the connection? We'll see. But the fact is, whatever that leads to, the fact is over $400 million in leverage that somebody has over the president of the United States. If he were going to be a federal appointee, that would be a major obstacle because someone has leverage over you.
What about the morality?
In terms of our national security. Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, what about the larger question, just of the morality of paying nothing for years and then paying $750 just when you're about to run for president or taking office?
There's no sense of decency. How does there have decency? This is a president who wants parades of military armament and military paying homage to him in front of the White House like he's some kind of a dictator. And yet, is he paying for any of that, the protection of our country? $750? Yeah, it's a disdain for America's working families. It's not right. But our responsibility is to protect and defend, and we have to make sure we know what exposure the President of the United States has and what impact it has on national security decisions for our country. You're right, the issue of morality is a larger one, but as you began, you said, let me be frank, you went through some of the other immoralities that the President has been involved in. But it is, you know, it really raises the question. He has almost a conflict of interest in how he's appointed judges who are all waiting for his cases to rise to the level of district appeals, Supreme Court of the United States. One other issue that I think, again, to be verified, is that the allegation that he told Mitch McConnell that the appointment of the general counsel at the IRS was more important to him, to move that along more quickly than than Attorney General Barr. Just connect the dots there. That's why it's so important what the House has done under the leadership of Richie Neal to have this case in the court for the tax returns, but not only that, to make sure that how audits are made of a president are done legally and without bias from the president. A president who's saying to the, possibly saying to the McConnell, this is a more important appointment. Who is the general counsel at IRS is more important. It's really sad. 36 more days for the American people to register their plus or minus on this performance of this president. But, you know, it's one thing to have a disagreement politically. That's what we come here and compete with in the world of ideas and the rest, and that's been what our founders had in mind. But to have really the corrosion of any sense of decency, the corrosion of any respect for people, and then on top of all of that, just the one bill that he has passed is to give the tax 83% of the benefits in his tax scam to the top 1%. So these people, as you start out, who are so loyal to him, they're loyal to their own judgment. But the fact is that you know, God bless them for voting in the first place. But people must vote. If you care about your health care, they're going to take away your pre-existing medical condition, vote health. If you care about any sense of fairness in our economy and in our country, vote. And it all comes back to health anyway, because so much of the expenses that people have are about health care. But no, you know, who could be surprised to see what the president has done? Everything he has said and done has taken us on a path of not being, you know, we talk about, oh, it's legal to this. Any sense of an ethical, fair, moral approach to governance and respect for the people. Paying your fair share, Mr. President.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.